We do not want this to happen. I beg President Trump not to do anything that she's requesting. I'm not surprised she's trying to get out because she still has a lot of power and she still has a lot of secrets. So I'm not quite sure how much weight that holds.
Apart from Virginia, you say another friend of yours was forced to have sex with Andrew?
Nothing happened to me. I just had a girlfriend during those years that she came to me really upset and said that Jeffrey had made her go into a room and have sex with someone that I thought was the prince. So that's the reason why I started speaking out, because of what I saw on the island, Virginia, and also what my friend told me.
And we asked Andrew Mountbatten Windsor for a response. We haven't heard back. He has previously denied all wrongdoing. Ghislaine Maxwell is reportedly planning to formally ask Donald Trump to cut her 20-year prison sentence for child sex trafficking, according to documents obtained by Democrats on the US House Judiciary Committee. Maxwell helped paedophile Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse young girls. She was friends with Andrew Windsor. He used to be a prince, as you know, and it was she who introduced Andrew to Epstein. That news comes just hours after a deal was struck that means the shutdown of the US government, which has dragged on for over a month, could soon be nearing an end, potentially bringing with it the release of the so-called Epstein files. I've been speaking to a survivor of Epstein, Lisa Phillips, and asked for her reaction about that reported Ghislaine Maxwell request.
Speaking on behalf of survivors, so many of my survivor sisters that were affected deeply by this woman, we do not want this to happen. I beg President Trump not to do anything that she's requesting. She's a convicted felon, and unfortunately, she's the only one serving time right now. There's many other people that haven't been held accountable, but she is serving time and she needs to be held accountable for what she's done.
She was sentenced to 20 years in prison for helping Epstein sexually abuse young girls for child sex trafficking charges. She has tried to get her appeal heard by the US Supreme Court. That hasn't happened. Why does she keep trying, do you think?
Well, I believe she keeps trying because she has still the power to affect a lot of people that are in power, and that could really make what she wants come true for her. I still feel like she's capable of doing that, unfortunately. That's just kind of what wealth and power buys you. She doesn't go to the same prison as everybody else. And from what I've been hearing, she's been petting dogs and hanging out in the fresh air and having tea parties. And it's really infuriating to a lot of us survivors to hear that.
That's interesting that you say you've been hearing that, because it is also reported that she has written an email to a relative obtained by NBC News that now she's been moved to a minimum security prison after having 2 meetings with the Deputy Attorney General. She is said to have written, "I feel like I've dropped through Alice in Wonderland's looking glass. I'm much happier here and, more importantly, safe."
Wow. I mean, she's so happy there. That's really great. But I've spent a lot of time with her victims, and they have had a lifetime of heartache, and they haven't had so many happy moments when they reflect back on what she has done to them. So we're still standing our ground and trying to do whatever we can to make sure that she stays where she is and she doesn't get all these perks.
How does it make you feel that she is reportedly getting these perks and that she's trying to get out before the 20 years is up?
I'm not surprised she's trying to get out because she still has a lot of power and she still has a lot of secrets. So I'm not quite sure how much weight that holds, but from the survivor standpoint of knowing hundreds of girls that were affected by her, it's just something that we're going to keep fighting for, to make sure that President Trump doesn't give her what she's asking for.
You were 21 when you met Epstein, and you say you were sexually assaulted by him. It was only after his death in 2019 and when you met other survivors that you started to realise what he had done to you. Is that how it happened for you?
Well, when it comes to serial predators, when they groom and manipulate and abuse hundreds of people, hundreds of victims, you don't really understand what's happening to you because it's very subtle, the grooming process, and you don't understand why someone's being really nice and giving and then someone's also abusing. There has to be good with the bad. And a lot of times you fall into a bit of a Stockholm syndrome. A lot of the survivors have talked about the fact that Jeffrey did wonderful things for us or our families, and that's kind of the way that you don't understand it when you're younger until you start speaking out and talking to other survivors from the same predator. Then you start to understand, my goodness, it wasn't just myself. It wasn't just me. This wasn't just happening to me. It was happening to you and you and you as well. And that just, it's kind of sickening. So there is a learning process when it comes to how these predators groom.
Since you last spoke to Newsnight, Andrew has been stripped of the title Prince, and that was a call actually on our programme from Virginia Giuffre's family. He is now known as Andrew Windsor. He's also been summoned to appear before the Oversight Committee in the US. You have previously met him. Can you tell our audience about that?
Well, the reason why I spoke out in 2019 and 2020 is because Virginia Giuffre spoke out about this person, and I had seen him on the island when I was first brought there in 2000. And so I just wanted to support her. I mean, naively, when I started speaking out, that's all I wanted to do was just support her because I believed her. And I had some experiences back then that supported what she was saying. Her accusations, I believed, were true. So my story started in 2019, basically with Prince Andrew at that time, and just wanting to support the survivors and speaking out against him. So it's been 6 years that it's taken for him to be stripped of that title. We're all very happy for that. I mean, it's not complete justice yet, but that definitely is a life-changing thing for him, and it's the first step in the right direction.
Would you urge him to appear before the US Oversight Committee?
Oh, yes. I think that'll be very revealing.
Did Virginia Giuffre ever talk to you back then about what she said had happened to her with Andrew?
After Virginia spoke out, I contacted her, and I wanted to speak to her and tried to figure out if our dates lined up, because I wasn't sure. I remember there was a very young blonde girl in the pool with an older gentleman, and I was introduced to that man later on as the prince. So I was just like, I want to, you know, be there for you. I remember seeing you on the island. Was that you? And so we started talking about the dates and the flight logs and just seeing if we were there at the same time. And I spoke to her because I said, oh, I have a friend who something similar happened to. And, you know, I just was not prepared to talk about my story. I just wanted to support her because of what I felt I saw. And I didn't like the fact that I didn't like what was going on back then. So
Understood.
I was just thinking I was doing the right thing.
Yeah. And so, apart from Virginia, you say another friend of yours was forced to have sex with Andrew?
Well, nothing happened to me. I just had a girlfriend during those years that she came to me really upset and said that Jeffrey had made her go into a room and have sex with someone that I thought was the prince. So that's the reason why I started speaking out, because of what I saw on the island with Virginia and also what my friend told me.
Lisa Phillips, thank you so much for talking to Newsnight again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we asked Andrew Mountbatten Windsor for a response. We haven't heard back. He has previously denied all wrongdoing.